This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Lloyd Noble Center here on the campus of the University of Oklahoma, and we are ready for some Carl Albert playoff basketball. I'm Jordan Ray, joined by Eric Sherman, and right now get to be joined by the head coach of the Carl Albert girls, Kyle Ritchie. All right, Coach, I've got to say, it was so interesting to me that this is the matchup because this is where you were at a year ago, and Will Rogers knocked you off. You're a very different team than last year, so are they. What do you see different about Will Rogers that's going to be a challenge?
You know, they're not as much different as after we watched film. They still got a lot of length inside, and obviously, you know, that's usually what hurts us sometimes. And so we got to make sure we block out. We got to make sure we get back in a defensive transition. Those are the two obviously big keys. And I mean, you can always say shooting the basketball because we were 3 of 31 last year from three, and so hopefully we shoot the basketball better tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, also what's interesting is playing this game in the morning, and then also having a day off tomorrow if you win. Could any of that affect your rotation as far as playing some of your starters longer minutes?
No. I mean, our advantage is our bench. You know, yes, I mean, my seniors have played in 107 games, and so they've been through it. You know, there's going to be a lot of energy, and so if I need to sit them down, because sometimes you can, like, hey, I'm fresh, but I'm exhausted. Yeah. You know, there's mentally and physically tired. And so, hey, you know, our bench is our strength, and we're not going to change anything right now.
All right, Coach, last question. What are you going to tell your team right before tip-off?
Hey, we got to break this one and done. Hey, give me everything you got. We kind of laughed about Hoosiers. Hey, it's the same size rim, free throw line. We're in a college arena, but nothing changes. It's the same thing. Let's go play Titan basketball and get a W.
All right, Coach, thank you. We hope to talk to you after the game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout here. When we come back, Eric Sharon will be on the call, and we'll talk more about this matchup between Will Rogers and the Carl Albert Titans. You're watching Mid-Del State Championship basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion Plumbing.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
At guard, a 5'3" sophomore, number 0, Sanaya.
All right, welcome back to Middale playoff basketball, state tournament basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And this matchup between Carl Albert and Will Rogers. And to remind you guys, Carl Albert lost the game first round to Will Rogers last year, and there was a similar seeding. 4 seed was Will Rogers from the East, and they knocked off the 1 seed from the West, the Carl Albert Titans. All right, starting lineups brought to you by Louis in Midwest City. And starting lineups look like this. I want to thank Louis for sponsoring the starting lineup. Located at 6007 Southeast 15th Street in Midwest City. Louis, we're in your neighborhood. For Carl Albert, you're familiar with these names. Number 12, Skylar Anderson, a 5'8" freshman. Number 20, Ariana Diaz, a 5'5" senior. Cameron Sutton, number 21, a 5'6" senior. Candy Kofer, 5'3" senior. And Asha Moore, a 5'9" junior. And this is the starting lineup for the Will Rogers Ropers. Number 0, Sanaya Morrison, a sophomore. Number 1, Lindsay Overstreet, only a sophomore, another starter for them. They're 5'6" and 5'7" respectfully. Jariah Jones, a 5'6" senior. Number 3, Juliana Matlock, number 12, a 5'11" senior, so she's their big girl. And also another tall player, Nellie Simmons, a 6-foot junior. Will Rogers coached by Carlin Atkinson. And, of course, you heard from Coach Ritchie of Carl Albert.
All right, we're ready to put 8 on the board. The Carl Albert Lady Titans going to be in all white with red numbers, and the Will Rogers Lady Ropers in all blue. It's an audio presentation here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Glad you could join us. Should be a great one. Rematches are always fun, but it's been a year ago as we're ready to tip this one off at center court. Ball's going to be controlled by the Lady Ropers, and they'll start off up top by Morrison. Morrison guarded against Sutton. Sutton's got a lot of experience, or rather than Diaz, who's got a lot of experience on this floor. Overstreet, down below, inside the lane, put back up the glass.
Ariana Diaz,
for Matlock.
Ariana Diaz went for the steal, did not get it. That led to the easy layup.
So Anderson quickly with a round ball, passing off to Kofer. She loses her balance down on the ground, and there's a loose ball. And then instead of the jump ball, she gets it taken from her own teammate back into the hands of Anderson. 3-ball, look off the mark off the far side, come up empty.
Ashamore shot the 3. I think she can get a little closer, but it is her shot.
Overstreet, little handoff over to Jones, little floater, back out of bounds, and that's going to be last touched by the Highlanders, so the Lady Ropers will inbounds underneath their own goal.
Second chance opportunity for the Ropers, and that was a big deal in our previous game.
Little turnaround jumper, floater, back iron's no good. Anderson crosses the timeline, top of the key. Little dish out pass to Moore. Moore back over to Diaz. Diaz will drive, looks against 2 defenders, puts it nice off the glass against her defender for the 2.
Absorbed the contact, going left, still shooting with her right, and making a really good shot there.
6:28 left to go in quarter number 1. Get this one settled. As Overstreet, little handoff to Jones, back top of the key. I'm surprised they have the low post player at top with Simmons, but a little back out as Juliana Matlock puts it up off the glass for 2, and it's a 4-2. Will Rogers lead by a bucket.
Sometimes having the post player high will open up scoring opportunities for your guards in the paint. Saw that there.
Anderson, a handoff. Back over to the hands of Skylar. She misses it off of the stolen pass into the hands of Overstreet. Eyes the shot from way outside the mark. No good. Rebounded by Carl Albert. Here comes Anderson. Back up top. Round perimeter passing. She circumvents around her opponent, and Koffer is able to put it in for 2.
Nice floating jumper from Kennedy Kofer, a senior. Does not want this to be her last game.
5:14 left to go here in quarter number 1. Morrison will drive. Up off, back iron's no good. Into the hands of Diaz, and Ariana crosses the timeline. Dribbles behind her back, between 2 defenders. Little dish back out to Kofer. And then we'll hand off to Moore. Moore with a 3-ball look, no good. Rebounded by Ariana. She puts it up, and there is a tipped off out of bounds.
Very early sub for Carl Albert. You're going to see Plunkett probably coming for Anderson. I think they feel like Anderson was playing a little too tense there, so they're going to relax her right now. She'll come back in soon. But one freshman for another.
3-ball look comes up empty and short into the hands of Matlock for the rebound. And here comes the Lady Ropers. All tied up at 4 apiece with 4:37 left to go. Here in quarter number 1. Eyes the 3-ball here on the near side, and it's going to go up off the glass on the top backboard and out of bounds.
Now that last 3 for Carl Albert, Cameron Sutton probably rushed that off an inbounds play. I think Carl Albert just needs to be patient. They can get some shots at the rim with the way they move the ball side to side.
And across. As Ariana will get a new play call from coach. Eyes that one for a 3-ball and misses the mark, but a back reverse up off the glass for Moore is good for 2.
That's what Carl Albert can do. They're small like Holland Hall was last game, Eric, but they can crash the offensive glass very effectively as well.
Carl Albert takes their first lead of the ball game. As Morrison drives past Ariana, goes straight strong to the hoop for a bucket is good, and we're back all tied up at 6 apiece. Ariana will look back for coach for a new play call. Crosses the timeline, right side. Defender falls, Ariana backs. Little pass over here to the near quarter. Short, hits the rim, rebounded by the Lady Ropers. Outside look. Nice little bounce pass, strong to the hoop. Turnaround jumper is good for Juliana Matlock.
It's a really good post move.
Bring the Lady Ropers up by a bucket. Ariana Diaz with a nice bounce pass, give and go. Trying to go to Sutton, but no good. Back up top, and a foul on the way in. So that's going to send Plunkett to the line. Shooting 2. It's your Rose Hill State College charity stripe. Looking for a university experience while staying close to home? Look no further than Rose State College with over 60-degree options. Apply today at rose.edu. Front irons, no good.
Well, it was a good drive by Plunkett to get to the free throw line. That's what Carl Albert needs, someone to just get strong to the basket, put him in a chance to get to the foul line, draw some fouls on Will Rogers.
Essence Curry will check in the ball game. She'll replace Curry. Or Kofer, rather. So Plunkett is able to let that one go. And it's back to a 1.87 Lady Ropers lead. Slowly, Ariana gets the steal. She was a little bit too slow, but she gets stripped on her way for a layup, and they're going to say it just goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think she was stripped. She just made a great defensive play, then a bad offensive play. She just lost control of the ball. Feels like there's some nerves going on with Carl Albert in plays like that.
Well, you know, is some of that last year mystic stuff creep in your mind, you know, when you have opponents that can do that for you.
And you know what? You were there. You saw that game.
Morrison, as she went slow last time, they got it picked and stolen. Almost took an extra step as the Carl Albert Titan fans wanted. Jones with a putback, no good. Loose ball. Man, there's a lot of bodies flying on the floor, but picked up on the offensive board for Overstreet.
Yeah, Skylar Anderson tried to push the ball. She had no room to dribble the ball there. She should have just come to a jump stop.
2:21 left to go here in quarter number 1, and there is a whistle and a foul on the floor. So La Hacienda Grill, for the best Mexican food in Middale area, is your first quarter sponsor. Whether it's dine-in, carry out using Grubhub, or catering, just eat their delicious food. 6011 Southeast 15th Street next to Jimmy's Egg.
And they sponsor 3 sports for us at Middale, so we really love their help.
Love their food, too.
Yes.
Going to round robin with a little bit of back and forth passing. Gets a little pick, rolls to the right. Almost stripped by Ariana again. Trying to pickpocket a 3-ball. Launch, no good. Picked up with a rebound, though. And Oliver keeps the ball alive for the Lady Ropers. Overstreet guarded against Anderson. Inside the lane. Oh, backdoor up off the glass for 2 is good for Matlock. And Juliana Matlock showing her presence on the floor to make it 10-7.
And that came off an offensive rebound.
3-ball on the way for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Just like that, a 3 and a timeout is called. And the 3-ball from your State Farm Insurance. Let's get a timeout.
Bobby Lewis, State Farm. It's a 30-second timeout. We really appreciate Bobby Lewis for helping us out. And big 3 for Carl Albert because the 3-point shot had not been there for the first part of this game. But you know what? It's just a matter of time before Cameron Sutton gets going. You know, she had 7 threes in the game we had on against Edmond Memorial. And so I think Carl Albert, we're seeing that the 3-point shots will be there. Will Rogers is going to look to rotate and help a lot. And Carl Albert's been penetrating pretty well. Just got to loosen that defense. The 3-point shots will be there. It's just a matter of making them.
I think, too, a little bit of the outside of Ariana, who's just, you know, she's in game form right now. But, I mean, just a little bit of hesitation, you know, and just kind of early morning, getting your feet under you. Take the little early road trip instead of playing a night game.
See, 22 is the call from Coach Ritchie. That's a 2-2-1 full court press.
All tied up at 10 apiece as the Lady Ropers cross to the timeline. Eyes the 3 and the stutter set by Jones. Jones inside the lane against 3 defenders. Loose ball picked up by the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Loose ball again, but now picked up by Curry. Curry, outside corner, 3-ball on the way is good.
Cameron Sutton.
So Bobby Lewis Insurance, surprisingly great weights with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and at Del City. Little floater and then up and in. Boy, taking it really to the lane. And Carl Albert, and she sits right back down but does not travel, keeps the ball moving. In the lane as Ariana puts it up high off the glass. No good, but they get the rebound. Backdoor, and then there's a collision inside, but a great look. Going strong to the hoop, as they would say. And that's going to be a foul on Plunkett. She goes in. Got some substitutions coming in. Looks like Brown's going to come in. Also Moore.
Rose State
and
free throw
Cofer.
made.
So Ariana will come out. Sutton will come out. Anderson will come out. So Coach going to his bench.
Now that's a difference, Eric, from this year to last year. They have a deeper bench. If you remember last year, they probably played only 7 players. Now they'll play 9. We're going to have the 9th one coming in right now.
Shot up and good. Makes it a Carl Albert 3-point lead.
So Lainey Moore will check in. It's real important Carl Albert defend the paint here, what may be the last possession of the first quarter.
Morrison, she'll take her time and cross the timeline under the 10. Far right corner, gets tied up.
So Carl Albert gets that. That means Will Rogers will probably have the first possession of the second quarter. So Carl Albert needs to take advantage of this jump ball. And they're gonna try by bringing Diaz and Sutton back
Coach
in.
got the quick exchange and the transition of players before the in ball and the inbounds.
Offense for defense sub here.
So Curry. Bounce pass over to Brown. Cross the timeline with 6 seconds. Got to go time coast to coast and gets that block with 2 seconds, but into the hands of Carl Albert, and she will step out on the line, and it's out of bounds by Lady Roper, so Carl Albert will inbounds with 0.7 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Curry had the right idea, but that was a great shot block from Will Rogers, so 0.7 of a second, enough time for a catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot is the priority. It's got to be here and now. Up. Oh, then she couldn't set her feet, but unfortunately does not come by Sutton. So we're going to have the 3-point lead at the end of quarter number 1. Carl Albert leads 15-12. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures, the only inflation worth paying for.
All right, back to action. After 1 quarter of play, Carl Albert leads 15-12. Your second quarter is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, where every day is game day. 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings. Load me up. So to inbounds to Morrison. Guarded by Ariana. Back up top, and very surprising that they have Nellie Simmons, that 6-footer, up on the top post. She'll go down below, and that's like a give and go. Puts it up off the glass too hard. Into the hands of Ariana. And Diaz gets the rebound quickly. Ball stolen, though, by Morrison. She picked the pocket, and a 2-on-2. Stolen again, back on the other side. So a little sloppy ball in transition. Oh, and there's the reach-in foul, trying to get too aggressive Overstreet as Ariana gets past her on the timeline, and a foul.
Ariana Diaz is a sure ball handler, but Morrison is quick. She's just got to be very cautious dribbling the ball around Sanaya Morrison.
Diaz to inbounds. She'll go way cross court over to Sutton. Sutton will look to drive. Little touch pass over to Moore. Bullet underneath. Oh, and then it's blocked and rejected as Overstreet missed the opportunity of the glass in the layup. Ariana tried to pick the pocket at half court. So did Anderson. There's a tie-up, a loose ball, and a jump ball is called.
And Carl Albert will have that possession, and that's when one of the things you'll know Carl Albert's at their best, when they are forcing jump balls. Key to their victory against Del City, which was their toughest playoff game of their 3 playoff games by far. And the key to that game was they forced jump ball after jump ball. Even when you don't get the ball, it still helps on defense a lot.
Plunkett will check in the ball game. She will inbounds to Ariana as Miss Diaz will now cross the timeline at the 7-minute mark here of quarter number 2. Up by 3, still at a standstill, and a stolen against Ariana goes Morrison. Morrison goes coast to coast, but she is stripped at the last second by Cameron Sutton. And that goes out of bounds.
It's great play by Sutton. Diaz talking to her coach saying, I think she feels like she's getting fouled a bit there. Of course, that's what players usually think when they get the ball stolen from them.
Jones to inbounds, bounce pass up top to Simmons. Simmons down below with a once bounce pass to Matlock, and then a transition back over to Simmons on the left side behind her, and there's a foul on the way up.
You saw right there, that's why you have a high post player. So she can cut on when the post gets double teamed, and that's how she got to the free throw line. Talking about Nellie Simmons. It's good ball movement, moving without the ball by Will Rogers.
So Rose State College, your charity stripe. Rose State College will jumpstart your college education. Apply today at rose.edu if you're looking for a university experience while staying close to home. Look no further than Rose State College with over 60-degree options. Shot up and in. So Nellie Simmons gets that as the junior collects at the charity stripe to make it a bucket. 15-13, Carl Albert with a 3-ball on the way on the far end of the court. No good. Loose ball picked up by Carl Albert. Again, side corner 3-ball on the way. That banks and good.
3 threes for Cameron Sutton. Extremely welcome sign for the Titans.
The Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-ball with 2 locations to serve you at Choctaw and Del City. Crosses the timeline is Morrison. She'll be guarded against Curry. Down below, a little pass off to Jones. That was a wise move as a baseline opportunity was taken by Overstreet, but she regroups to give to Morrison. Almost right at the half-court line. Oh, they try to force that down below. It's tipped against Carl Albert. The bounce pass is tipped and almost stolen, and it's going to go out and saved. What a save by the Carl Albert Titans.
Asha Moore. That's her best play this game, and it was a great one. And she made a good layup, too, earlier this game.
Kofer going to hand off to Moore. Moore will hold. They want to give and go in the in lane, outside for a 3-ball. Look, rattles in and out. Quickly down the floor. Here comes Will Rogers and the Ropers. Goes coast to coast, high up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Carl Albert and Moore. Stolen by Will. There it is, up in the front end. Back irons is good by Morrison. She is a player on the floor.
Well, after making a great play, Asha Moore tried to dribble between two defenders. The guards have got to find a way to become available to her, but she should not have made that attempt at a dribble.
3-point lead by the Lady Titans with the ball. Going to drive. 2 defenders and a blocking foul on the way.
Gotta say, Plunkett, the freshman, Audrey Plunkett, is getting to the free throw line. And I guarantee you the coaches, we're sitting very close to right now, love that aggression.
Your Rose State College charity stripe. Apply today at rose.edu.
This is going to be her 5th and 6th free throw attempts for Plunkett. She doesn't even start, but I think she's going to play a lot of minutes this game because of all the freshmen, Eric, they play 4 pretty good ones. I think Plunkett at 5'11" has the most upside.
Shot is up and good. 5-point lead, the largest tonight, by Carl Albert and the Lady Titans. 4:49 left to go here in the second quarter before the half.
Back to their 22, a full court press. Backing off it, though, not a very aggressive press yet.
Ariana guarding against Morrison. That's going to be tipped, and it's going to be actually caught by Will Rogers. The Lady Ropers get that off of the bounce pass. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Carl Albert. So the Lady Ropers will still inbounds underneath their own goal.
That was Essence Curry with a block. Carl Albert just couldn't recover that.
Quickly to Morrison is the inbound pass. Down low post to Summons. Turnaround jumper. The bank is open. And she makes that collecting for 2 to bring it within 3.
Got good position there. Good turnaround.
Nice little turnaround, and she's engaged as Moore takes it aggressive on the spin move into the lane, and a foul called.
So these will be free throws. First free throws for someone other than Plunkett for Carl Albert. 7 and 8. Will Rogers only 2 free throws this
only
game so
2,
far.
that's what I noticed so far. So Carl Albert's kept out of that, but Will Rogers done the damage, but they're physically ground and pound as Moore will go to the line, and she's got a little bit of blood on her leg, and so they'll have to tend to that.
Yeah, so I don't know how they works as far
she's
as
the shooter, too.
Picking the free throw shooter. We'll find out. Carl Albert could call a timeout, I think, and maybe that would keep her in. But I think they have to call a timeout or they have to replace her.
He's going to get another shooter in.
Yep, that's
so
exactly what they're doing.
He's going to get Kofer in.
That's a good.
They said take her time, so Kofer will go.
That's a good choice. Now, with Kofer in for Moore, that means Carl Albert is going to give up some size, as Will Rogers has 2 post players who both show they can score in the paint.
Very interesting. You don't see that much, but you don't see injuries like that much. Unfortunately, she had blood trickling down her leg. Rims in and just gets the shooter's roll to make it 21.
At the NBA level, the other team picks the free throw shooter.
Oh,
so
I like that.
Yeah.
Second shot is good.
Got a quick sub. Skylar Anderson will also check in and replace Sutton Anderson. A little bit more size, so she'll defend one of the post players for Will Rogers. That
eliminates you getting an injury to put someone else that you want on the line.
That's right. High school isn't doing that. I don't think college basketball does that either.
Oh, you hardly ever see it. Yeah. Morrison will cross the timeline at 4 minutes to go, so halfway through the second quarter. Guarded against Curry. Morrison gets back up top. Down below, they like that low post. Up off the glass is too hard for Matlock. Loose ball, picks it up. Matlock gets a freebie. She puts it up too hard. They're saying go, push it down. Anderson pushing the floor. Plunkett. She goes up hard, and she is going to get fouled. Going to probably get Simmons.
I kept the Rose State up, but we might as well keep up a few more seconds.
Simmons is going to send her to our charity stripe sponsor for Rose State College.
This will be 7 and 8 free throw attempts for Audrey Plunkett.
Up and
she's
good.
making them. She missed the first one, but I think she's made the rest.
On-campus housing transfer agreements with all Oklahoma universities. Rose State College will jumpstart your college education. Apply today at rose.edu. For those of you who are stuck in the office,
So
want to keep up with Carl Albert, we've got a 24-17 lead.
Sorry, we're a 13 called by Coach Ritchie. That should be a 1-3-1 zone, and that's what we see, but some trapping. A 1-3 zone, one zone with some trapping.
Get a little stutter step around the defender, a little high off the mark. Into the hands of Carl Albert, and the rebound by Skylar Anderson. She dribbles behind her back. There's an exchange between the two, and there's going to be a foul called. Trying to pick the pocket is Jones.
Definitely a foul. Jones a little too much aggressive, but she is frisky on defense.
It's going to put them in the bonus now.
It's a good effort by Jones. Yeah, Skylar Anderson will be shooting a 1-and-1.
For your Rose State College opportunity at the line. They'll jumpstart your college education. Apply today at rose.edu.
Not the best game for Skylar Anderson. She airballs the free throw. She's been a little off.
Missed that opportunity, and they'll slowly cross as Overstreet waiting by Ariana. Little pass over here to the near side. Back up top to Overstreet. We'll play catch between Overstreet and Jones. Jones. Little bounce pass, but that's read and stolen by Carl Albert. Fast break opportunity. 2-on-2. Goes the distance. Hits the back of the rim and out. Rebounded by Will Rogers. And the Lady Ropers back down with a 24-17 Carl Albert lead with 2:30 left to go here before the half. In between Diaz, and it's stripped and stolen in by Curry. Back to Ariana to Curry. Curry will drive. Look back out to Kofer. Kofer. Outside for a three-ball look. Rims in and out. No good. Rebounded by the Lady Ropers.
We're going to see Asha Moore come back in a moment. So they cleaned up the blood.
Morrison gets past Ariana in the lane, and she'll just take it the distance for the two.
She's got very good control, very good skill around the basket, this Morrison. That was a nice shot.
24-19 your score. It's going to be Curry over to Ariana. Three ball on the way is good for Kofer. Kofer knocks the three ball just in time for the Bobby Lewis Insurance with 2 locations to serve you at Choctaw and Del City. Call for a free quote. Surprising great weights with the 2 locations. Back door. Oh, and I thought she was going to take it.
Yep.
Had a ball look by Oliver. No good. Into the hands of the Carl Albert Lady Titans, and that will sail out of bounds. So loose ball with 1:14 left to go, but it's 27-19, largest lead by Carl Albert tonight.
Yeah, the pass thrown a little bit in front of Essence Curry. I thought she could have made a play on it, but that's when you get a little. You're just right now. Carl Albert's juiced on defense. I mean, they're just amped. They're playing the passing lanes well. They're forcing tough shots, and sometimes that can lead you to being a little too aggressive on offense.
Jones going to inbounds over to Morrison. Morrison. She got the pick as Ariana had to pick her up off of the roll on the right side, and a foul on the way in.
Sutton fouled her, or Kofer, I think. But I don't agree with that 2-shot call. I thought
Ariana's
she was trying to pass.
called.
Okay. I still think, though, Morrison was trying to pass the ball there. But it's because it's only 14 fouls on Carl Albert.
Rose State College charity stripe. Rose.edu. Looking for a university experience while staying close to home? Look no further than Rose State College with over 60-degree options and a miss. Trying to bring it within 7 at the charity stripe.
Yeah, Diaz has 2. So Carl Albert does not like playing very long without her. But if they can maintain this lead or close to it in the last minute without her getting a 3rd foul, that would be a win.
Little bend in the knees, up and in to bring it to 20, and a 7-point lead by the Carl Albert Lady Titans with 1:05 left to go before the half. Brown will cross. Dribbles behind her back. Little dish off handoff to Kofer. Nice little move inside the lane by Plunkett, no good. Loose ball and a
1-and-1 for Asha Moore.
It's going to be a foul on Oliver. It's going to be her second.
We'll put Laney Moore in, probably to keep Plunkett from getting another foul.
Jakari Brown goes to your Rose State charity
wrong.
stripe.
Brown got fouled, not Moore.
Shot is up and good. Apply today at rose.edu. Bring it to an 8-point lead, 28-20, with 48 seconds left to go before the half. Second shot coming up. Little bend in the knees by Brown. Up and in. Brings it back to a 9-point lead with 48 seconds.
Sorry, the free throw line has been kind for Carl Albert. 11 for 13. Will Rogers only 2 of 4.
So our Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter comes dwindling down with Morrison crossing the timeline with 35 seconds left to go. Inside with a nice pass to Simmons. She puts it high up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Moore, and there's a whistle and a foul.
Okay, I think I'm bright this time. Now we're going to see Asha Moore shoot a 1-and-1. See Essence Curry come in. The freshman who can shoot also coming in.
It's going to be on Morrison.
I was thinking Plunkett will come back in. I thought they were going to try to preserve her for fouls, but she's coming back in on defense. I think with this lineup for Carl Albert, we may see more pressure. Try to speed up Will Rogers so they can get another possession here.
Moore gets that one to sink.
You know, the free throws were a real problem for Carl Albert against Dell City 2 games ago for him. Not a problem this game.
Try to make it extended with a 10-point lead with 27 seconds left to go.
As I say that, they missed, but
And
overall a good half for him.
Morrison with 18 seconds left to go. High up, and that was going to be a opportunity, a 3-point swing, but the ball rolls in the back iron, no good.
Essence Curry was motioning for a travel to be called, and I think she's right.
Laney Moore is charged with the personal.
And Morrison may have got away with one, but now she'll get to the free throw line. That's probably when we'll see a lot from Will Rogers, probably a lot of in the second half. Sanaya Morrison attacking the basket.
Rose State College charity stripe. Apply today at rose.edu.
So with 14 seconds, you're going to see the seniors come back in for Carl Albert. That's Ariana Diaz and the K&K wing combo that can shoot so well. That's Kennedy Kofer and Cameron Sutton. So
Sanaya Morrison to the line. Bending the knees up and in. Brings it back within 9. And the second shot coming up.
Now you got all guards in for Carl Albert. So this free throw is missed. Important that they get the defensive rebound.
Shot up and in. Final 13 seconds as Ariana crosses the timeline, dribbles behind her back, gets the pick, rolls right. Almost stutter step move over to Curry. 0.7 seconds, and that's going to be ending. So another opportunity that comes up empty for the Carl Albert Lady Titans, but they lead 30-22 at the half. We'll be back with halftime statistics and second half action right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Because to us, being the best is about helping our community when they need us most. It's about giving our all on every play and every job. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best. And that's what makes us Champion.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, and my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American Airman, kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
All right, back here at Lloyd Noble, home of the Oklahoma Sooners, your Bedlam as tonight in Kansas City. So check that one out. Thunder back in action after a great win last night. And high school basketball across the state of Oklahoma. 2 locations, once at the fairgrounds. In fact, at noon, we're going to head over there on the Newcastle channel to take on a great boys action, Newcastle and Weatherford at the Big House. Then back here tonight for Carl Albert with the boys playing Tahlequah at 6. And the Del City Eagles taking on Edison Prep at 7:30. That's all on the Oklahoma Sports Network. But we're not through here. We're at 30-22 here at the half. I'll tell you what, Carl Albert, considering that there was a little bit of that mystique of last year, this was the same opponent. They came up empty. Well, they've done their part to really make a charge here in the first half.
Actually, I was going to ask you about that, Eric. You, if I'm not mistaken, because you were doing the 5A girls games last year in the first round for the NFHS Network. I was doing the boys, so I couldn't see this game that they played last year, but I thought it was the second half where Will Rogers came back and made up that difference, that Carl Albert had control of the game heading into halftime. So you have to think, in that being the case, Coach Ritchie will definitely mention to them, hey, we got a lot of basketball ahead of us. Good news for Carl Albert, 4 of 10 from three-point range. That's pretty good. Will Rogers only 0 of 4. 12 of 15 from the free throw line. Not shooting as well from two-point range. I think Carl Albert, in case the three-point shots start to dry up, maybe the refs will call the fouls differently. They need to have a plan to get to the basket, mainly that being Diaz. Maybe Skylar Anderson is the one starter for Carl Albert that really did not have a good first half. So, and I think with her, she makes some good hustle plays because that's what she does. That could get her back into rhythm.
And no one really in foul trouble at all on either side. 2 is the most. And there's 3 players with 2. The rest have 1 or none. Third quarter is brought to you by Super Subs, home of the Steak Bomb Sandwich. Locally owned and operated for over 20 years, 2150 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Phone 405-733-5440. Super Subs and the Steak Bomb Sandwich. All right, whistle to play, and it's going to be the Lady Ropers to inbounds at midcourt and crosses the start of second half action. She'll get a little bit of the pick as Morrison goes down below. Low post up off the glass for Simmons. That's what I was expecting to see, and now they put it to work.
Always an option for Will Rogers. They got the size advantage in that matchup.
Well, that's a 6-foot junior that's down below and chips away at that Carl Albert lead, 30-24. So we switch ends of the court. Carl Albert on this side. They split in between defenders. No call, loose ball, not even a jump ball. Picked up by Morrison, right back down. Oh, and then that's kind of overthrown by Overstreet. She miscalculated the pass. In the lane, little floater, rolls, and out by Morrison. A putback up where the rebound is good, and just like that.
A concerted effort for Will Rogers to attack the paint. Carl Albert going to already call us a timeout. We'll have an early sub, as Coach Ritchie just not happy with Skylar Anderson at the moment, so she'll be coming out.
That's a 30-second timeout. But, you know, the thing is, it's you come out from a half, and, you know, someone's going to get that start. And, you know, Coach didn't like what he saw and just said, you know, okay, this is the time to shut it down and regroup, you know, and because as it sits in his mind, and I've been told this with every sport that has a half, it's a nature of 2 halves. Whatever you had the first, everybody's going to have adjustments. You're going to play differently, so you throw that half out. You just got to execute what you came in with your original game plan.
I agree, and you know what? For Carl Albert, what's interesting is 9 points for Cameron Sutton, all on threes, 7 for Kennedy Kofer, 7 points for Audrey Plunkett, all from free throws in the first half. They need to get Ariana Diaz some points, and I think they have to figure out how they want to defend the paint as Carl Albert. That's one of the biggest concerns right now.
So inbounds to Ariana Diaz. And she'll back away from her opponent, puts a 3-ball up, back irons off the glass, no good. Rebounded by the Lady Ropers. So Morrison looks to set this one up, top of the key. Guarded heavily by Ariana. She tries to get past Diaz. Diaz puts her hand on it, goes out of bounds, but last touch by Ariana. So they'll inbounds from underneath their own goal.
Yep, Diaz has some of the best hands in girls basketball. Got the deflection there.
So what I thought they would use, they're starting to go with Simmons with a turnaround jumper in the lane, no good, but a putback up off the rebound by Matlock is good to bring it within a bucket. Here we go. Back and forth we go. Carl Albert has been cold. Here's a 3-ball on the way. Back irons, no good. Rebounded by the Lady Ropers. Oh, stripped by Ariana, and a Diaz layup up and in, off the glass for 2 is good. Just what the doctor ordered.
What a big turnaround. Looked like Will Rogers was about to go for the tie.
Ariana almost gets another steal against Morrison. Morrison, throw out pass to the near side over to Simmons, who misses that. Or that was on Jones. Ariana, floater, back up top to Sutton. Sutton gives to Moore with a 1-step, drives the lane, back out to Ariana for a 3-ball look. Banks it. And the 3 is good, and a timeout is called. Bobby Lewis Insurance, surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you. It's a 30-second timeout. Choctaw, 405-281-6700, or the Del City number 405-670-3665. Bobby Lewis Insurance. Wow, what a little turn just when you thought, okay, what's happening here? Carl Albert lights it up when they need to.
What a sequence, and remember this is something to write down, is that it was 30-28. I think it was Sanaya Morrison who had the ball. I forget whether it's her or Overstreet, but they're about to get the defensive rebound. They're about to push it up. Again, going for the tie of the lead, and Ariana Diaz just picks the pocket of the Will Rogers guard and then has an easy layup. And that obviously gave her some confidence to shoot that next 3 that she made. And just like that, it's back up to 7. And that might be a sequence we talk about at the end of the game. That's how big that was.
So now she'll patiently cross the timeline. Is Morrison. Pass down to Overstreet, down below, underneath. Just an easy pickpocket there for Simmons. And Nellie Simmons uses that low post frame to get the bucket to make it a 5-point Carl Albert lead. 3 ball on the way. Back iron's no good. So they come up a little bit empty on the 3 ball by Plunkett into the hands of Morrison. She goes coast to coast and a blocking foul on the way in.
Maybe a blocking foul. Should not be 2 shots. We'll see what they call there.
To the demise of the Carl Albert fan base.
That should not be 2 shots. And I think the ref who made the call, she is correcting that, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be out of bounds throw-in for Will Rogers.
Okay, and they did. Great opportunity at a 5-point Carl Albert lead with the ball with 5:05. A long way to go in this one. Thank you for joining us. If you're in the office, can't get to the game, and want to keep up with your Carl Albert Titans. Bounce pass down below with Simmons. She bangs, puts up the opportunity. No good. Strip stolen out the back pocket, and then another foul on the way in.
Diaz can't believe it because she's really good at drawing charges. One of the Will Rogers players, Simmons, wants a tech called on Diaz. But Carl Albert's done that a couple times where they get a rebound and they need to know when they have room to push it with a dribble or they need to wait for an outlet pass.
Diaz is the only one in really, if you say foul trouble, she's got 2. This shows you that no one else, she's got 3 rather. So she just picked up her 3rd. She is in foul trouble and she will come back to the bench. So the substitution is she'll get out. You need her on the floor for 4. Yeah. There's no doubt. So give her a couple of minutes. Settle down.
Carl Albert can go. Where do they go for offense? That'll be the question.
Well, it's been the Morrison Simmons show.
Yeah.
And Morrison back to the line for the Rose State College charity stripe. Up and in is good. Apply today at rose.edu. Rose State College charity stripe. Opportunity for the Carl Albert Lady Titans coming back down on the floor. Back up top of the key for Moore. Dish out, side corner, back over to Kofer. Kofer will drive, then a little dish out pass over to Curry. Inside the lane, Plunkett. Outside corner. We'll just play a little bit of perimeter passing right now. Back up top of the key for Curry.
Good
now
pass.
A little give and go inside the lane, stripped and stolen by Plunkett. Couldn't get it, but Plunkett tries to re-steal, comes back down on this end of the floor, and here comes the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. A big, long pass that sails out of bounds, and Carl Albert will get the break.
First mistake we've seen made, that's Jones for Will Rogers, just overthrew Matlock. She was wide open under the basket.
3-point game. 4 minutes left to go. We're halfway through this 3rd quarter here in second half action. Dish out to Sutton. Sutton, little bounce pass, 3 ball on the way. That is going to come up way short into the hands of Nellie Simmons. Morrison going to go coast to coast. She's going to go up high off the glass. No foul. Loose ball picked up, and now a foul coming back up by Jones on the rebound.
Some coach Richie mentioned at the beginning of the game, defensive rebounds, and that's the problem at the moment as Will Rogers has really cashed in with her size advantage.
Jariah Jones, a senior, to the line. Shooting 2.
So Diaz will come back in with 3 fouls.
Well, I got to really watch her, and you really can't change her style of basketball because, I mean, she's not going to lay down. She's going to play aggressive. You just don't want to see her foul out. Coming out now is Curry, as Ariana will go back in.
So the important thing for Diaz, she has to play a little different on defense. She, at least right now in the 3rd quarter. I don't think she can be that aggressive on the defensive end.
Second shot up. Back iron's no good. Rebound into the hands of Moore. Down the floor, Ariana, she'll cross the timeline. Diaz back into the game. Hands off to Moore. Moore to the near side to Kofer. 3 ball on the way. Banks it. Nothing but cord as Sutton hits the 3. And your Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 ball.
I can't believe she got as much room as she did.
So now the lead's back up to 38-32. Those three can kill you. Down below to Simmons. Bounce pass against two defenders. Puts it up. No good. But the rebound with the putback from Matlock is. And that gets the two to fall to make it 38-34 and a 4-point lead. Boy gets the pick. Rolls around there for a shot by Anderson. No good. Diaz gets the rebound. Ariana over to Moore. Back to Ariana for an NBA 3 style. No, gets her own rebound, picks it up, and backs away. Double teamed on the left side, and there is a scrum and a timeout called.
Coach Ritchie wanted to keep that possession, so he's going to use a timeout for that reason. Coaches will do that even at this point in the game where we still have, over a whole quarter to go. So we got a full timeout here.
Okay, so we'll take a timeout with them. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Carl Albert Titan Basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Welcome back to another fine Saturday morning here at the Johnson House, where the team at Champion Plumbing is about to perform one of their classic pipelining maneuvers. Watch their technique as they begin pouring in that epoxy. Oh, wow. Didn't miss a drop. That, ladies and gentlemen, and why these guys are the champs.
Well, it's a chase for the gold ball here at Lloyd Noble. And next round up on Friday. Wednesday started off early. 9 a.m. for the first game with the MacArthur Lady Highlanders. They get defeated by Holland Hall. Little floater inside the lane. That is good.
Good two-player action from Plunkett and Moore. Plunkett drew the second defender, found Moore for the easy basket.
Moore gets the nice little layup in. We'll transition. Don't forget, Newcastle going to be in action against Weatherford at 12 noon on the Newcastle channel. Stripped and stolen into the hands of Moore. So she gets the bucket and the steal. Coming back down the floor. Two defenders up to coast for the Carl Albert layup.
Two defenders doesn't state how difficult that shot was to get to the basket by Moore. Just a great job.
2 minutes remain here in quarter number 3. Oh, and they're going to say that's going to be her fourth foul. I told you cannot change her style of basketball. And
yeah, but she's a senior. I got to disagree respectfully. She's got to come. She can't be that aggressive on defense when you're in foul trouble.
No, that's what I mean. I don't think it's within her that she can change who she is. Not that we want her to change because we know what's at stake. And that's why I'm saying it's 4 fouls. So she'll go back to the bench, and they'll be without her.
Offensive
and a whistle
foul
on the floor, an offensive charge.
They're going to say Morrison extended her arm on Essence Curry.
Morrison's going to pick up her third.
Yeah, that's
or is that
Rogers
just two?
Coach not happy, obviously.
Yeah.
Coach Atkism. I hope I'm saying that right.
So Ariana Diaz is on the bench with 4 fouls.
Yeah,
and we've got 1:43 left to go here in quarter number 3.
When she's out, I think it's important for Carl Albert to be really deliberate on offense.
Going to drive inside.
Or do that.
Oh, beautiful. Just by Plunkett.
Plunkett's been outstanding this game.
Found the easy lane, the easy bucket. Uncontested. She gets the 2 to make it a 10-point lead with 1:21 left to go here in the third. Morrison goes straight to the hoop, and an offensive charge called.
I tell you, things are right with Carl Albert when one of their seniors draws a charge. In that case, it's Cameron Sutton. She usually is good for 1 or 2 a game.
So now Morrison's going to pick up her third. It's going to be the team's only second. Crosses the timeline is Plunkett. She'll be guarded by Simmons up top. Plunkett in the lane, turnaround jumper, spin, strip, and she's fouled with a whistle on the floor.
So what's the one thing we haven't seen this half that we saw in the first half? Audrey Plunkett getting to the free throw line, and she's back to doing it there. And I think she feels like she is quicker than Simmons, and she can attack Simmons with her speed and go at her, get to the line, and that's what's happening.
Lady Moore will check in. So will Brown.
And then so impressed with the freshman,
Anderson.
The freshman Plunkett making her free throws.
And your charity stripe brought to you by Rose State College.
By the way, you have 4 freshmen in, Eric, and then the player that's probably ninth in team in minutes and more, Lainey Moore, who is a transfer. So they're all new to this team. None of those players, 5 players in right now for Carl Albert, played in that Will Rogers game last year.
So 46-34 is the lead. Carl Albert with their largest lead with 53 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Down below, they're trying to get to Simmons. Stripped, stolen, but into the hands of Morrison and the loose ball and the rebound. Morrison, eyes back for a little bit of help to Oliver. Back up top to Morrison with 33 seconds left to go here in the third. Looks to drive right. Little dish out pass. Back up top to Simmons. Simmons tries to go underneath, and there is a loose ball foul. Trying to get the ball is Anderson.
That is a tough call on Skylar Anderson. She just went for the ball. It was just an incidental bump.
Yeah,
I get the call, but it's just a tough one. She's just going for the ball there.
It's only going to be her first, but the team fifth. So 2 away before they get into the bonus, and a whistle on the floor. What is this?
That's a bit of a problem potentially for Carl Albert. The refs are calling it real tight right now. Just have to, again, what I like to say is you have to adapt. You have to adapt to what the refs are saying.
So it's going to be on Brown. Turnaround, and that is stripped, stolen. As the turnaround jumper by Simmons is deflected, and now a whistle on the floor.
So Plunkett with a great block, because again, she's a guard basically, but she can play the post on defense. Got the ball like a guard, tried to bring the ball up, and then got called for a carrying, which you don't see very often.
So the turnover and a 12-point lead with the final shot with 8 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Looks to drive is Morrison. Morrison, 2 defenders, and there is a whistle on the way in.
Now that's going to be free throws, probably a 1-and-1 with only 2 and 9/10 of a second to go. What you're probably going to hear, because Coach Ritchie will elevate his voice pretty well, we're sitting close to him, is he's going to get on to the refs about how tightly they call in the fourth quarter, because this could be real important. And we're also going to see, describe it for you, of course, Morrison is going to attack the basket a lot, I think, in the fourth quarter for Will Rogers, which he already has for most of this game.
Jacqueline Brown charged with a foul. That's going to be her first. It's going to be the team's 7th and the 1-and-1 now. Morrison to the line, shooting 2. First shot is good. It's your Rose State College charity stripe, looking for a university experience while staying close to home. Look no further than Rose State College with over 60-degree options. Apply today at rose.edu.
See if that's enough time for Carl Albert to get a shot. This free throw's made.
Gets that one to go. 2.9 seconds left to go to inbounds. Oh, she'll have to, no, this will be it. So she'll just dribble it out as Skylar Anderson will hold the ball. It's a 10-point Carl Albert lead, 46-36. The final 8 minutes coming up right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
All right, back here at Lloyd Noble. I think they're going to find out. I think they want to know. They're going to go for the official scores table to find out how many timeouts Carl Albert has left.
I guess it would be 2.
2. Yep. So, fourth quarter, here it is. Punch your way to get to the semifinals. It's brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic in Hara, Oklahoma.
See, how much time can Coach Ritchie buy with Ariana Diaz on the bench?
Well, the lead is 10. And minutes. Oh, a little exchange, loose ball in the lane, but she struggles for it. And a tie-up and a jump ball. Anderson, I thought, was dead in the water with 3 defenders, but she still kept fighting. But the possession arrow is going to swing to the Lady Ropers.
You know, I hate to be so hard on her, but I was so complimentary of her 2 games ago because she was so awesome against Del City. Rough game for Skylar Anderson. If Carl Albert holds on here, I expect to see her take things real seriously the next 2 days for their second-round matchup.
Morrison will cross the timeline, bounce past underneath, low post, trying to go down to Matlock, and that's up and in for good for 2 from Matlock.
Sun's got to double team better. She's got to stay with her, not let her get split like that.
So down the floor, Ariana Diaz not in the ballgame right now. She's got 4 fouls. Nice little scoop inside, feed to Anderson. She puts it up, but it comes up empty into the hands of the Lady Ropers and the rebound. Here comes Morrison. Morrison back out to Overstreet to Morrison. Then inside the lane, turnaround jumper is no good by Matlock. A rebound by Matlock, a putback up and a whistle as it goes out of bounds.
Matlock's been a huge problem. That was a great post move she had earlier. She made the same move, going to her left hand, just missed it there. But she has been outstanding. She's kept Will Rogers in it. Carl Albert got a break on that by the fact that she missed the shot and it goes out of bounds off Will Rogers.
Anderson will check back out of the ball game. Crosses the timeline is Moore. Moore looks for a little bit of help. Dribbles. He's guarded against Matlock. Little round robin passing over here to Plunkett. Yeah. Back up top to start off with Curry.
Carl Albert should be very deliberate here.
Kofer, then a 3-ball look coming up. Hits the front iron of the rim. No good. Rebounded.
She has the green light to do that, but
she just had the look, just didn't fall.
Yeah.
Morrison quickly goes down, and they circumventing the 2 defenders with a nice move is Jones. Jones to the hoop to make it a 6-point game with 6:05, and here comes Ariana. 6:02. Coach has had enough. Ariana with 4 fouls going to come back in, and we got a holding call.
Only 4th foul on Will Rogers this quarter, so he'll be on the floor.
So 3 away from the bonus.
Also Plunkett in. I wouldn't be surprised if this 5 in for Carl Albert is their finishing 5 if the game gets close.
Loose ball, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by Will Rogers. So Lady Titans will inbounds. Ariana checks with Coach. It's going to be a pass up top to Plunkett. Plunkett will look to Coach. She'll back away. 5:49 left to go and a 6-point Carl Albert lead. Look to drive, bounce pass, underneath, loose ball, but picked up nicely. Up off the glass by Moore is no good. There's a fight for it, and a jump ball is called.
Moore with the gimme, but she really couldn't see where she was under the basket. It was a good pass from Plunkett, but Moore forces the jump ball because I thought Simmons had full possession there. So good job for Asha recovering from her missed shot.
So your fourth quarter Dynamic Health Clinic, quarter brought to you by them in Hara, Oklahoma. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletes' injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic in Hara. Dynamic Health Clinic, your fourth and final period.
Some debate about what type of timeout we have.
I think it's 30 because they're standing.
Well, if you run out of 30s, you have to call a full.
Yeah, okay, well, he's got them all stand up over there. Carl Albert sitting down, so it's got to be a 60. We'll just keep it here.
Full, yeah.
5:41, though, a 6-point game, and your thing is, just when you think, Carl Albert, you think, okay, you got this edge, and then here comes Will Rogers. They don't panic. They've been here before. They beat Carl Albert last year. They're staying and playing. and we got a 6-point game. This is a long way to go to finish this one with 5:41 left to go. And if you're joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our free app on your Apple and Android devices by searching the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So timeout by Will Rogers, but this is an opportunity for Carl Albert to run a really good baseline out of bounds play. Let's see if they do.
Ariana Diaz from underneath her own bucket. It's going to inbounds. It's going to be tipped out, and it's going to be tipped, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be last touched.
But the ref made the motion,
Rogers. Yep. But they're going to take the ball way down on the other end of the floor, though.
It's going to give Will Rogers a chance to press. Not very tightly, though.
They back away a little bit as Moore hands off to Plunkett, back to Moore. Moore looked initially for the give and go to Plunkett, back up top. Over to Sutton. Sutton will drive. Oh, then we got one coming on the right side.
So Matlock knocked Sutton down. She couldn't believe the foul got called on her, but she clearly knocked Sutton down. This will be a 15 foul. Still Carl Albert possession.
Diaz will toss into Plunkett, who's way up at top of the OU logo, almost midcourt. She'll drive, gets stripped, stolen.
She had the right idea. She's got to take care of the ball.
Into the hands of the Lady Ropers, into Morrison. Morrison will stop against 3 defenders, and she'll get fouled on the way in. With a 6-point lead, we'll go back to the line. Foul's going to be on Sutton. That's going to be her third.
Titans have got to be careful here about sending Will Rogers to the free throw line too much.
Yeah.
They got to find a way to collapse in the paint without fouling Morrison.
Shot up and gets the shooter's bounce and roll. For your Rose State College charity stripe, apply today at rose.edu. Rose State College will jumpstart your college education. A little bit in the knees, second shot coming up and no good. Rebounded by Moore. 4:56 left to go. Plenty of time in this one between these two as they fight back and forth in a seesaw, and Will Rogers not going away. Playing tight defense as Moore hand off to Ariana. She'll back out, bounce pass over to Moore. Moore gets in a little bit of trouble. Looks for the 5-second count, and timeout is called.
Carl Albert's going to be down to 1, but
30 seconds.
It's a valuable timeout for Coach Ritchie to keep that possession.
Well, it was, you bail out your player from getting the 5-second turnover, so might as well use it right here. Now he'll have one timeout remaining.
That's the potential problem. If you can protect this lead, you're not going to call it timeout as frequently. It's when you're trailing that you want timeout. So if they protect this lead, it's a good timeout. If they don't, they're going to miss that timeout.
Well, even some fans behind us and Carl Albert saying, we got to make some baskets. Let's go.
Yeah, they have
that's really what they've been lacking as of late.
They have no points this quarter.
I know that tells. And Ariana was out for a little bit of that. She's up, but she's not playing top. She's not driving. She's outside edge, so it kind of keeps her away from contact.
And you have your two shooters in Kofor and Sutton, but you don't really want – Sutton shot a 3 earlier this quarter, but you don't really want them shooting unless they are wide open.
Ariana throws a big pass to Kofor up top from down below. It's going to be a handoff to Ariana, but she'll regroup as it bounces off her leg. Guarded against Morrison. Drives. Pump out. Oh, almost a little stutter step there by Plunkett. Ariana drives against 2, and she'll get the bucket counts, and the 1, and the harm.
I didn't know if she'd get the continuation, but she did, and that was a heck of a move on Matlock, who's about 8 inches taller than Diaz.
So Diaz gets the 2, and the 3-point harm coming up.
How many times has Diaz made the big play when they need it?
And there it is. And then she made it a 3-point swing to make it an 8-point lead, 49-41, and we're almost halfway through this fourth and final period. Winner will advance to the semifinals.
She's not the team's leading scorer, but the baskets Diaz has had have come at crucial junctures.
Morrison will dribble behind her back, hand off over to Overstreet, back down below to Matlock, outside. Little floater to Morrison. Morrison inside the paint. She'll drive. Ariana had to back away from trying to make any contact, but luckily it rims out. Quickly, down the floor. 2-on-1. Opportunity. Outside three ball on the way. Is good by Kofer. Kofer nails the three.
Like I said, shoot him if you're wide open. She was, thanks to Asha Moore.
And your 3-point Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 couldn't happen at a better time. Back up by 11. 52-41 with 3:26 left to go here in this fourth and final period.
It's like the first girls game we had, Eric, just a game of runs. We saw the first 5 points of this quarter scored by Will Rogers. And now Carl Albert scored 6 in a row. And we're going to see Matlock shoot 2 free throws because they say she got hit in the head. I think it's 2 free throws.
Shot up and
nope,
no good.
Wrong.
So in the 1-and-1, misses that as Anderson. As Matlock misses at the free throw line. Into the hands of Plunkett. Plunkett will hand off to Moore. Here on the near corner, coach will say back away. Why not? Use a little bit of time. Time is on your side when you got a lead like this. Back over to Ariana. Diaz, almost a little scrum there. Dribbles behind her back. She wants to get the contact. It's stripped. Stolen. Stolen by Ariana. She got it after it was stolen by Morrison. She took it right back for it, and the bucket for 2.
How did she keep the ball with her?
Oh, that was unbelievable move and great dexterity. She had great ball skills there. 54-41 and 2:44 left. We'll take a timeout. Be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we take pride in taking care of our community. When we hit the road, we're fully prepared to solve your plumbing issues. We're family owned, and we are the standard for plumbing service. With a team full of champions, being the best plumbers in Oklahoma is just part of the job. So when we show up, you can rest easy, knowing that whatever the issue may be, we can handle it and make you a happy Champion customer. Contact Champion Plumbing today.
All right, back to action here. Lloyd Noble after the timeout. Down the floor comes Morrison. Inside with a floater for Simmons. No good. Picked up and then stolen and then blocked by Plunkett. Plunkett takes it down the court. Opportunity, layup, up and in for Sutton. Coast to coast, and the Carl Albert lead extends 56-41.
Best sequence for Carl Albert, and Audrey Plunkett has been outstanding.
Revenge has come sweet for the Carl Albert Lady Titans, who lost in this game a year ago. They're up by 15 with 2:10 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Morrison. Little into nice little fadeaway inside turnaround jumper by Matlock is no good. Second opportunity rebound is no good, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow will stay with the Lady Ropers.
So Matlock, who's been so good this half, Juliana Matlock for Will Rogers, she's cooled off this quarter. She's missed a couple of shots around the paint. Good looks, just couldn't get them to fall.
Morrison back down below is double teamed by Simmons. She bounce passes into the hands of the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Here they come on a drive. 3-ball on the way, up and in is Kofer. Kofer makes them pay with a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-point swing, and it's the largest lead tonight by the Carl Albert Lady Titans, 59-41.
I'm going to call that a dagger.
3-ball coming back the other way, no good. Rebound and a loose ball, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, we have player of the game coming up, and man, some tough choices here. Kennedy Kofer came on strong there. Cameron Sutton has outscored her by a little bit, 14-13.
I mean, it's hard not with Kofer's swing here in that second half. I mean, wow. I mean, just and putting the dagger right where it needs to be. Lead is up to 17 in a quarterfinal matchup. Winner will advance to play in the early contest winner against Hall and Hall.
Yes, we need to probably look up the time here. I think it's noon tomorrow, or not tomorrow. It will be
Friday.
Yep. Teams will have interesting how that works now. This is the first year they're doing that.
Don't forget noon at Newcastle and Blanchard on the Newcastle channel. Back here at Carl Albert for a 6 p.m. start where Carl Albert boys will take on Tahlequah. And then at 7:30 we're staying for back-to-back games. Del City in action. A steal by Ariana Owens. She's tripped up. Luckily she's able to come up with that, but she got stepped on coming up with the steal.
So many good candidates for player of the game. Ariana Diaz.
Yeah.
Absolutely should be considered. Plunkett, who's taking a rest now. I actually really like Asha Moore, even though she's not the team leading
Have you ever
scorer.
done co?
Oh, yeah. I do it a lot. It's kind of a cop-out of sorts, but yes.
Yeah.
We'll announce that here. Hopefully we'll get a couple of Titans.
Ariana, she puts it up and in for the Rose State College charity stripe. Apply today at rose.edu. Glad you could be along here for the ride. We're having a fun one here at Lloyd Noble in Norman. She banks them both, 61-42.
So
almost a 20-point lead with 1:13.
Carl Albert right now just don't want to get anyone hurt.
Right. Little floater and let that go. Let the points go in as Juliana Matlock will get the points, but who cares? It's a minute 4 left to go here in this contest to celebration to say quarterfinal win and go into the semifinals.
What an explosion, by the way.
Coach says we'll hold it up.
Yep. No points for the first half of the fourth quarter. Second half, they got 15 in. It's Carl Albert. They're a streaky team, but when they go on a run,
Brown's going to play keep away. She's going to go around there with 41 seconds. Oh, and then finally a strip almost steal by Morrison, but she's going to get it back into the hands of your ball carrier of Ariana. 31 seconds left to go. She'll say, I'll keep it away from everyone.
Respect Morrison for playing hard right now.
Yep.
Forces the steal.
No foul. It is a steal. Coming back down the other end, that's all they could do. Ariana, she stays away from getting her 5th foul. Up and in for Matlock with 15 seconds left to go, and the celebration can start. Punching your tickets to the semifinals. There were 8 teams to start this contest in state, and there will be 4.
Carl Albert will be one of them. It's been a while, Eric, since they've been this far.
Congratulations, the Carl Albert Lady Titans with a big win, 61-46 to avenge their loss from last year over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. As both teams congratulating one another.
All right, let's do it here. Player of the game by Triple Elite. Tough one. I'm going to go with, there's so many good candidates. I'm going to go with Asha Moore.
Okay.
Probably because I want to interview her, but she played well. And Cameron Sutton. I want to get a senior in. So let's see if we can get those two. Hold on. We'll talk to Coach Rich here in a moment.
Okay. Player of the game brought to you by Triple Elite. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite 405-610-5200. Of course, we've got some interviews. Got Coach coming up. We'll talk with him. And we'll also have our players. So I guess we're going to go with Asha Moore is going to be your first.
Asha Moore, okay. Well, we've been waiting to give you player of the game. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, Asha. All right, so remember how painful that loss was last year to Will Rogers? And
yes, sir.
How gratifying was it to get to play them again this year to move on to in-state?
Oh, man, we talked about it all year. Came in first practice, and we knew what our goal was. Coach Ritchie and our coaching staff pushed us the whole year, and it's just a great feeling to be able to get our get back, I would say.
Talk about your game. I mean, you had to defend some really good post players, 2 different ones for Will Rogers, both Simmons and Matlock.
Mm-hmm.
How were you able to compete with them and then be effective on the offensive end?
I always say it's mind over matter. They're 2 really good players, 2 physical players, and I just told myself that I wanted it more than they did. And as far as offense goes, my teammates, they allow me to run the floor and they give me the ball, and that's how we win a lot of our games is we're very unselfish and we ride the hot hand.
All right, so Eric, you may not know this, but I believe you are committed to play softball at North Texas. Is
yes,
that correct?
Sir.
Okay, but you have to wait to go practice softball again a couple more days. I'm sure you're good with that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we'll have to talk more about you going to playing Division I in a couple of years. But for now, let's talk to the senior Cam Sutton. Thank you very much, Josh. We look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to talk to Cam or Cameron Sutton, whichever name we feel like saying.
Yeah, either one.
Either one. All right, Cam, so first half, You had your 3-point shot going. I mean, what's it like shooting at this gym? It's big. I mean, it's not even a gym. It's a center. It's a big stadium. What's it like shooting in this floor?
I like it way better. I feel like I have more open space than in like a regular high school court.
What type of pressure, if any, did you feel getting to this point last year, losing to Will Rogers? What type of pressure did you feel in this game, heading into this game?
I didn't feel any pressure. I was like, I'm not losing to Will Rogers again first round of state. So I was like, we got to win this.
Okay. Any thoughts from you about Holland Hall? Has that even entered your head yet?
No, haven't even thought about it yet.
Good girl. Good answer. Good answer.
You'll have plenty. You'll have a couple days to practice your shots some more and be ready for that game. We look forward to seeing it. All right, Cam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we talk to the winning head coach, Coach Ritchie. Coach, I mean, I'll ask the same question to you. Was it a little gratifying getting to play Will Rogers again and then win and moving on, or generally speaking, what's the feeling of being able to move on after the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't matter who was across from us. I think the girls played a little bit more into that than the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. You know, whoever you're going to play in the state tournament is going to be really, really good. Yeah, they were like, Coach, we're tired of going one and done. And they found a way. It kind of got close there at 46-40. Hit a timeout. This team can be challenged, and they accepted the challenge, and they came out and they finished it off against a dang good Will Rogers team.
Yeah, there's so many good performances you had to talk about. I'm not going to mention all of them, but Ariana Diaz, even though we interviewed other players, she came up huge in two crucial sequences, the and one in the fourth quarter where it looked like she could have lost the ball. Then the steal and the score in the third quarter, both of those were going against a Will Rogers run there. Just even though it was just 2 plays, how big were those 2 plays?
Well, that girl's been in 107 games, mm-hmm. And so she was in foul trouble, and she's got this team has Harvard champion, but she's the leader of the group. You know, we have a lot of great players. Kennedy stepped up. Yep. Cam stepped up. The seniors said, we're not going to go home tonight. And everybody else followed them.
And it was interesting. You finished the third quarter with 5 players that were not playing in this game last year. 4 freshmen and then Laney Moore, who's moved in. The one freshman I want to ask you about is Audrey Plunkett. Getting to the free throw line so frequently and then making them, especially in the first half. I mean, what can you say about how she played this game?
Well, we told her don't settle. Attack and finish or get to the line. And then when she did get to the line, she did. I don't know what her stats were, but she shot it pretty well tonight.
It's going to be weird to me, and I'm sure it'll be a little different for you observing all the state championship ball, that you'll have a day off tomorrow and get to practice for Holland Hall. I mean, have you already thought what that's going to go like as far as, instead of just doing 3 games in 3 days, but instead of getting this day off?
I think it's really good for us. You know, I'm not going to speak for Holland Hall. We shoot a lot of jump shots and we pressure a lot. And so I think it's going to be good. Christian, our trainer, he does a great job with them. So get them in treatments. And, the coaching staff will do our jobs tonight and start breaking them down. Because, you can't peek ahead because you just don't know. Was it going to be Mac? Was it going to be Holland Hall? And so 2 really good teams played before us. And so we'll get there and we'll get scouting reports and let them get, as fresh as they can be. And then, really it's going to be probably walk through, here's a little bit of scouting report, shots, and let's go play. Because, hey, we're back here at 9 a.m.
Yeah, well, Coach, congratulations. We look forward to talking with you in 2 days.
Yes, sir.
Preparing for the Holland Hall game. Congratulations.
Hey, and thank you all for everything that you do.
We appreciate you making yourself available to us. All right, that's Coach Ritchie. And so you heard as we are looking at the bracket here, the game, looking at the boys bracket, will be at 9 a.m. on Friday. So look forward to that. Carl Albert and Holland Hall.
All right. Well, it's been a great presentation. Don't forget Newcastle playing right now against Weatherford at the Big House. We're going to have that on the Newcastle channel for those Carl Albert fans. Come back here at 6 o'clock. We've got the boys in action against Tahlequah. And for Del City, on the Del City channel, we'll take on Edison Prep at 7:30. So a full slate of basketball still yet to come. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.